Now, speaking of data synchronization, Keitt, there's a lot of opportunities that are out there. And when we take a look at the expenses and the waste that's in the industry today, what do you think that number might actually be?
Well, typical rule of thumb is anywhere between 1 million in savings for every $1 billion in sales. But that's more from an operational perspective. There's also outstanding sales opportunities as well when you start factoring in pieces of information that fall outside of operational tools, such as marketing information, nutritional information for food items, images of the product as well. So all those can really help to advance the sales rep out in the field, or from an online order entry perspective, gain additional line item penetration.
You know, speaking of the sales reps out in the field and the customers that access that data as well, information's always been king, and the person that delivers the information reigns supreme in those environments. So how does a company take advantage of the opportunities from the data pool side?
Well, the first thing is to establish some type of integration concept. It's one of the things that we're really excited about is the data staging module that helps the distributor or recipient, as you will, bring in the information coming from the manufacturers and integrate it into their applications. That application is very, very useful in that there's typically some distributor-specific information that needs to be augmented to the information coming in from the manufacturer. And so the data staging module provides that solution.
You know, it really is a great application. It enables the distributor or the user to be able to go through and highlight the items that they want to be able to manipulate, accepting key values that come directly from the vendor, but allowing them to make changes to particular areas they want to make changes to.
I agree. I totally agree. And there's been so much growth in data synchronization over the last 3 to 4 years that many of these distributors or recipients can get a quick start in the data synchronization process simply because there's been so much growth from the manufacturer, the supply side of the business. We have some recipients out there that are receiving well over 85,000 products through the GDSN, in addition to just the items themselves, over 50,000 images with this one particular recipient. So there's lots of great information out there. It's growing more and more. We're seeing double-digit growth not only within our own customer base, but through the GDSN as a whole.
Yep, and I can attest to the fact that as a customer or a sales rep is utilizing this information, they become very dependent upon it. Because there's one thing for certain is that having access to the information makes the user much more knowledgeable. It gives them access to, as you pointed out, the images, the nutritional content, all the things that they need to be able to study or to be able to reflect on. So at the point of purchase, they can make that purchasing decision.
Absolutely, and also there's more and more online applications out there for self-service models, so that operators can actually log on to these websites, place orders, and have access to that detailed products information as well, and having that information updated on a real-time basis as well, so that if a nutrition element changes, or if now a manufacturer starts publishing gluten-free information, those nutritional attributes are becoming more and more important in healthcare, within the school industry, those types of things.
You know, I remember years ago when these databases were first starting to be created, there was many distributors that would actually think that they could create the data on their own and actually input the data on their own. And what they didn't recognize was they are also creating liability. And if they didn't have the accurate data coming directly from the particular vendor, and they missed an allergen or they missed some sort of key element that could cause a problem, they became liable for the data as well. So it not only provides them with the opportunities to provide the product information, but it also relieves them of those product liability problems.
I completely agree, completely agree. We're seeing more and more folks get concerned about that concept of liability and wanting to make sure that there's the manufacturers, the ones that are providing the detailed information. The other thing that's interesting too, related to the GDSN and the Global Data Synchronization Network, is that while I firmly believe that our data pool is the best and would like everybody to sign up directly with me, it's not a requirement. If a manufacturer wants to make a publication to a particular distributor or recipient, they can do so through any data pool worldwide. And so it really helps manufacturers make a choice based on whatever needs are most important to them, and then access that information and publish that information across to their distributor partners.
Okay, so one of the things I think that's most important to keep in mind is the good data rule. That bringing data into your systems will cost you about $1 to make sure that you get the data correct. And to manage that data, and if you have to go back and fix the data, you're going to spend about $10 per item. But if you never pay attention to it, that item is going to cost you well over $100 in costs. So getting great data into your systems is a key element. Obviously partnering with FSEnet and bringing data in from the GDSN standards is a great way to be able to accomplish that.
I completely agree. And again, as more and more manufacturers get involved and more recipients start utilizing the NCR data staging module, that implementation will become more and more seamless for the distributor partners out there.
Exactly.